Almost high noon. This is an auspicious time to have a chat.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
And what make a man brave a blizzard, kill in cold blood? I'm sure I don't know.
Thank you for validating our provincial Antipodean backwater by A, being here for the film, and continuing to put New Zealand on the big screen. That's much appreciated.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
It must be something that happens whenever there's a non-Los Angeles or non-major metropolitan place. They get very excited when they're in movies.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Well, I did kind of figure that the shout-out that Auckland gets in the film would have a resonance here.
Oh, there's all sorts of moments that we have. The end of Point Break. Anyway, this
Yeah,
that happens
right,
all the time. It was very exciting last night to see the title come up, the 8th film by Quentin Tarantino. I don't want to ask you about 10 and Out because that's like the question that's constantly asked. But what I was thinking about was that numbering convention of your films. Do you remember when you first thought that was a good idea to do? And yeah, how did that come about in the first place?
Well, it's like funny because, some people can criticize it as saying that it's like megalomaniac self-mythology, and maybe it is a little bit, all right? But I do actually like the countdown aspect, especially as it's gotten deeper into it. Where I was coming from in particular, though, in the case of calling Kill Bill Volume 1 the 4th film by Quentin Tarantino, was the fact that I'd done 3 films up until that point, and then I didn't work for like 6 years because I was just doing a lot of writing at that time. So there was kind of a big aspect of me coming back and saying that this is my 4th film. Good, bad, or indifferent, or highfalutin or not, I decided to do it anyway.
You starting to see pictures, ain't you?
Got room for one more?
Like Walton Goggins in the film, I don't want to get us talking political.
Yeah.
He really finds himself caught in an awkward conversation there.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do it anyway.
Sure, go ahead.
One of the timely aspects I thought about the film last night was it's set in an era where America's come through a very divisive period.
Yeah.
And they're dealing with the aftermath of having two opposite sides coming together.
Yeah.
And it kind of feels a little bit where America is politically now.
Yeah.
So the more argumentative the two sides get, they're going to find a time where they have to sit down around the same table or in the same haberdashery and thrash it out. Was that sort of one of the things that you were drawing upon in writing it?
No, it's one of the things that ended up springing up in the course of the movie as I was writing it. I don't know if that was necessarily what I was thinking about when I wrote that first scene, where Major Warren is talking himself onto the stagecoach. But that's where it ended up going. And I even remember writing the sequence with Mannix and Warren have their argument and their debate. And when it was over, I was surprised at how political it got. And when it was finished, I was like, oh my God, this could almost be Fox News having a debate with MSNBC to some degree or another. And it really kind of highlighted the blue state, red state place of, or in their case, a blue state, gray state era that they were in that actually is disturbingly reflective of the era that we are living through now.
One of the great things that comes about by virtue of the setting, the bottle episode type setting of the film, is that I'd use this in a dismissive way for some films, but in this case, I really enjoyed the theatricality of some of the performances, so that it's very, very much a case of your troupe of actors getting the chance to actually tread boards and perform.
Oh, well said, yeah.
Is that a definite intention on your part?
Oh yeah, no, that was definitely the idea of the movie, was to in a way like Reservoir Dogs, have the limitation of the one room, and then trying to use that as a suspense piece, that you have all these tricky characters trapped in one room that can't go anywhere. There's a blizzard outside that might as well be a monster in a monster movie waiting to devour them if ever they leave. And the fact that nobody's the good guy. Everyone's a scoundrel to one degree or another. And no one can trust anybody. And one of the ideas that I kind of had that was similar to what I tried to do in Reservoir Dogs, and a bit similar to what John Carpenter did in his remake of The Thing, which also had Kurt Russell, was the idea that it's a study of paranoia as well. And the thing about it is the entrapped situation that they're in. The idea was that the paranoia is so strong that it bounces off the walls to such a degree that it has nowhere else to go but through the fourth wall and hopefully into the audience.
Move a little strange, you're gonna get a bullet. Not a warning, not a question, a bullet.
There's a film that I'm going to see tomorrow night. It's sort of it's a place called Academy Cinemas. It's a bit like Cinema Village in Greenwich Village, where I saw Grindhouse.
Yeah.
They're playing a film called Jackie Brown tomorrow night.
Oh yeah, I heard it actually. There was a couple of fans at the theater the other night, and then they were talking about they were going to go see Jackie Brown tomorrow. Yeah.
Is there anything that you'd say to people that are about to watch Jackie Brown for the first time?
Oh, good thing. I love Jackie Brown. I think Jackie Brown's. I think it's one of my best movies, but I think all my movies are one of my best movies. All right, but I'm biased. But one of the things I think that's really lovely about Jackie Brown, it'll be very interesting for people who are maybe seeing it for the first time. But one of the things that I feel about Jackie Brown is it's a hangout movie. Now, like a lot of my movies, it's like you'll watch it the first time, and then there's a whole story going on, and you're following the course of the story. And then there's surprises, and then they get revealed, and then that's that. But then I wanted Jackie Brown to be lived in. I wanted you to really feel like you get to know these characters, and you're living with them, and you're hanging out with them. And so if you visit it again during the course of your life, every 3 years or 5 years or something like that, I want it to be like a hangout movie, similar to something like Dazed and Confused, or Rio Bravo, or other hangout movies. So if you watch it again, it's almost like they're your friends. You're having you're smoking cigarettes with Jackie. You're taking bong hits with Melanie and Lewis. You're drinking screwdrivers with Ordell. And that's kind of how I wanted the film to have a feeling of.
I'm absolutely doing bong rips with those guys.
Oh yeah, there you
sure.
go. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Quentin. It's good chatting to you.
Oh, me too, mate.
Enjoy the rest of your stay here.
I sure will.
When you get to hell, tell them Daisy sent you.
You gon' die now!